Morning, everybody. 31 August. I almost walked by this site. I show you the plaque. This is the inoculation station where George Washington had his army vaccinated for the smallpox in the winter of 1776. There's a ruin here, an old barn. This looks like the foundation. I'll step away so you can see the whole thing. There's a number of large stone walls, interesting ruins here from the past. But you can see that that's a very significant stone foundation for that old barn. So the smallpox vaccination is interesting. It was developed by Edward Jenner back in England, and it's a live cowpox vaccine, the Vaccina virus. That's where we get the name vaccine from Vaccina. And so it's a live virus vaccination, and it's not injected. You actually put it on your skin and poke it through the skin several times, and the body gets a reaction to it, similar to the cowpox, which Edward Jenner noticed the cowmaids would get, and then they would never get smallpox. That's how he sort of started his investigations on it and figured out how to do this. It was our first vaccine in the world. And of course, smallpox was a deadly disease and worked very well. Interesting that, that vaccine is given differently than other vaccines, and we still give it. It hasn't been given recently. I received it as a child. Many of you did. Hasn't been given, I think, since the late 60s to children. But I received it before going to Iraq because there's smallpox is eradicated. The last native wild strain was detected in India, I think, again, back in the 60s or so. But there's two samples. There's one in the Center for Disease Control, and then one Russia has. So because of that, and Russia's history of biological research and use of biological weapons and chemical weapons, we got vaccinated for that. And again, we did the same thing, poking through the skin. So the same old technique, it hasn't changed. We have lots of technologies, but that hasn't changed to vaccinate against smallpox. So interesting site, smallpox as a great history of the virus, and it's a great history of the science and development of vaccines. And of course, this is also very important in the history of preventive medicine for the U.S. Army and other forces. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Have a great morning. Good afternoon, everybody, from the middle of the Hudson River. Now, I'm not fording the river, I'm crossing the river on the Bear Mountain Bridge. I'm not sure if that's Bear Mountain or it's just beyond it, but it's the same area. Very busy area, lots of traffic. There's trains on either side of the river. You can see boats down there going back and forth, little ones, big ones. We're looking south. You can't see New York City, but New York City is, of course, south of here on the east bank. And if you look across the bridge, that's north. Now on the west side, that little town is Fort Montgomery. I'm going to stay there this evening. There's a storm coming. If you can see the clouds, that's mackerelling of the sky. So that's definitely a sign a storm's coming. We know it is. It's tropical storm Ida. They say it'll be in early tomorrow morning and all day tomorrow, maybe even part of the next day. We'll see. Also north on the Hudson River, on the west bank, that's going to be West Point. You can't see that either, but it's just a little ways up there. Okay, everybody, I probably won't give you another video today, but have a good evening.